fella, just a boy, and I can hear my brother and his mate talking outside. Now my brother and his mate, they were older than me, 3 years older, and they were talking about a battleship at school. I'm outside, I'm inside the house, I'm thinking, battleship at school? There's no battleship at school. If there was a battleship at school, I would know. So I went outside. I went up to my brother and his mate. I said, what are you guys talking about? My brother, he goes, we're talking about our teacher. I said, hey. He said, yeah, her name's Mrs. Battersby, and she's real mean and tough. So we call her the Battleship. I went, whoa, do you say that to her face? My brother and his mate, they both jumped back. They're like, no, you don't say it to her face. They both looked at me and they said, don't you say it to me. I was the wrong person to say that to. A few days later, it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. The bell has gone. It is home time. We are all lined up to go on the buses to go home. Mrs. Battersby is on bus duty. She is making sure that we get on the buses in an orderly fashion. I am the last person to get on the bus. When I get on the bus, I see my uncle, the bus driver. Always nice to see my uncle. I walk down the bus aisle. There's no more seats. I have to stand. My uncle starts the engine, closes the bus door, and starts to move the bus forward. Mrs. Battersby turns around and starts to walk back into the school. I think, I'll be funny. So I yelled out, see a battleship? All the kids on the bus go, ooh. Mrs. Battersby turns around. Stop that bus. My uncle stops the bus. I'm like, no, uncle, don't stop the bus, uncle, don't stop the bus. The door opens. Mrs. Battersby gets on the bus. Who said that? All the children look at me. She goes, you get off this bus now. I walk down the aisle to get off the bus. As I'm walking down the aisle to go past my brother and his mate sitting in their seat, they're looking at me. They're saying, you be quiet to me. Don't you tell her we told you their name. You be quiet to me. I keep walking. Then I see my uncle, the bus driver. He's smiling at me. He's like, you're on your own for this one, boy. I get off the bus. Mrs. Battersby makes me stand in front of her. Who told you that name? I look over Mrs. Battersby's shoulder. I can see back onto the bus. My brother and his mate, they're not sitting down anymore. They're standing up. They're at the windows. They're like this. Mrs. Battersby goes, come on. Who told you that name? Oh, my brother and his mate. Mrs. Battersby gets back on the bus. You two, get off this bus now. Oh, did we get a big telling off. 2 years later, I end up in Mrs. Battersby's class. But there's a bit more to this Mrs. Battersby. One day I'm sitting there on the mat, and I'm looking at this boy sitting a little bit in front of me. We're waiting for the teacher to come, for Mrs. Battersby to come. And as we're waiting there, I'm just watching this boy. Now this boy was different from me. At our school, we didn't have a uniform. You wore whatever clothes you had. And this boy always came to school dressed nice. He always had nice lunches. He was really popular. All the kids liked him. And in the classroom, he tried really hard. Even as I'm watching him, he's sitting up like this waiting for the teacher. He sees me looking at him and he goes, What? And I go, oh, nothing. He goes back to look at the front. And I go back to looking at him. And then he goes, what are you looking at? And I was serious. I looked at him and I said, does your dad hit you? And he goes, hey? I said, your dad. Does your dad hit you? And he goes, what do you mean? And I said, you know, hit you. And he goes, no, my dad doesn't do that. He looked at me and he said, does your dad do that to you? I said, oh, yeah. And I lifted up my top because my dad had hit me really hard in the arm. And a big lump had come up under my arm. I had this huge lump. My dad hit me in the arm, big lump underneath, big lump there. I was worried. My body was changing. I didn't know what was going on. I thought another arm was trying to grow out or something. So I showed the boy. I said, yeah, look, my dad hit me really hard. Hit me hard in the arm. Big lumps come up. I said to the boy, do you have a lump like that under your arm? The boy goes, no. I said, do you think that lump's supposed to be there? He goes, no. He says, you should tell someone about that. You should tell the teacher. You should tell Mrs. Battersby. I pulled down my top quick. I said, no, don't tell anybody. Don't tell anyone. The bell rang, morning tea time. We all went outside, had some food, played around a little bit, bell went again, we all come back into the class. I come back into the classroom, I sit in my seat, and I'm watching the windows and the doors, and I'm watching all the other kids come back to class. I watch them walk in, sit in their seats, and I keep watching, because that boy I told, he doesn't come back to class. My heart starts beating faster. Where's that boy I told? Keep looking at the windows and the doors. I think to myself, now he wouldn't tell anybody. I told him not to. The door at the back of the classroom opens. Mrs. Battersby walks in, and behind her is that boy. He's told her. Mrs. Battersby looks over at me. Timothy, come with me. I'm like, I get up from my chair. I start to follow Mrs. Battersby and the boy out of the classroom. As I'm following them out of the classroom, I'm thinking to myself, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I think, oh, I'm going to lie. I'm going to lie. I'm going to say, Miss, I don't know what that boy's talking about. I never said that. He's making up stories. I'm going to lie. I follow Mrs. Battersby and the boy out into the hallway. In the hallway, Mrs. Battersby gets me to stand up against the wall. She's standing there. The boy's standing next to her. They're both standing there looking at me. I don't know where to look. I'm like, Mrs. Battersby goes, lift up your shirt. All of a sudden, I've got no ears. I'm like, hey, what? Mrs. Battersby goes, lift up your shirt. So I lift up my shirt. I get this high. She says, lift it higher. So I lift it up. She sees the big lump and the bruising, and she bursts into tears. And I'm not talking quiet tears. No. Mrs. Battersby goes, woo! Like this. And then she hugs me. Now, Mrs. Battersby was not a little woman. Mrs. Battersby was a big woman. So it's like, whoo. And Mrs. Battersby's crying and she's rocking back and forth. And, never went away. And then the worst thing happened. The worst thing. Mrs. Battersby steps back from me. She's wiping her tears. And she says, Timothy, I want you to go back into the classroom. And I want you to pick up your desk. And I want you to put your desk next to mine. One day, Mrs. Battersby goes, "How you going there, Timothy?" "Oh, good. And then she goes, "Bring me your book so I can have a look at your work." Oh. So I get up from my chair, I get my book, it's all over now. I walk over to Mrs. Battersby, give her my book. Mrs. Battersby takes my book. She places it on her desk and she smooths it out like it's something precious. Then Mrs. Battersby puts her arm around me like this. She pulls me in close and she holds me there while she gently takes me through my work. I'm like, oh, this is not so bad. Mrs. Battersby, eh? I was lucky. I was a boy at school and I had a battleship on my side. Now, Mrs. Battersby, that was her last year. At the end of that year, she retired. On the last day, some of the girls in the class, they got together and they made Mrs. Battersby a pretty card. And they let everybody in the class sign it. Everybody except me. I went up to sign their card. The girls looked at me and said, "No, you're not signing our card. You're a naughty boy. Mrs. Battersby doesn't like naughty boys." I got angry. In my hand, I had this large rubber doorstop. I'd been holding on to it all day. This large piece of rubber, I found it laying around outside. I'd been holding on to it all day. And when those kids said that to me, I felt angry. So I threw it. I threw it hard at the wall. It went into the wall. It went into the wall, made a big hole. All the kids go, "Ooh." Later on, Mrs. Battersby comes back to the classroom. The girls run up to her. Mrs. Battersby, look what Timothy did." Mrs. Battersby looks at the hole, looks at me. I'm standing there, I'm like, Mrs. Battersby down. She's really nice to me. This is how she's going to remember me. Mrs. Battersby goes, "Timothy, come here." So I walk up to her. As I'm walking up to her, all the kids are like, whoa, man, he's going to get it from the Battleship. I walk up to her, and what does she do? She hugs me and cries. She hugs me and cries. The other kids are like, hey! He put a hole at the wall. Mrs. Battersby is now in her 90s. I've been having cups of tea with her. She's very proud that I, as one of her students, I became involved and that she had a big part to play in that. And when one of the times I saw her, she looked at me and she said, you know, Timothy, I know what they called me at school. I know they called me the Battleship. I went, did they, Mrs. Battersby? Did they call me that? Mrs. Battersby, she looked at me, she pointed at me. Oh, yes, they did. Oh, I'm sorry, Mrs. Battersby. And she's been waiting because she knows the book has been coming out. And here it is, it's out. So she's been waiting a long time for this book. She kept telling me, hurry up, Timothy. I'm not going to be here much longer. I'm like, don't talk like that, Mrs. Battersby. She says, hurry up, Timothy, get that book out. So here it is.